There was one up there about balance.
We've hit the point where we are literally at the top.
Right.
Like,
Matthias Risk was like, why does Ghostcrawler work on LoL after getting so much flack for balance on WoW? I don't balance League of Legends. Skarsgård is much closer to that than I am. There are people whose job it is to look at the live state of the game, and they are much closer to the problems and much more in the trenches. You wouldn't want me balancing League. It would not be pretty.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, is being a lead of design on League of Legends does not necessarily mean every single thing that happens, Greg's got to stamp off on, and everything that happens, it's like that. It's more like, you can think of Greg, it's like for people out there who have ever had like managers, right, or leads in your own jobs or fields, you know, it's like, hey, I'm kind of helping set the direction, and then I'm here to help you if you have any problems, but I'm really there to like open the doors and try to facilitate your growth and your solving of these problems.
Yeah. There are studios where the lead designer or game director will say, hey, I want you guys to make this change because I'm the boss. Riot is not like that. I've never worked at a place like that. I know they exist. Yeah.
And I've heard the horror stories of places where it's like, I'm a game designer at this company, which means I do everything that guy says.
Yeah.
And that's just how it works. Aatrox is useless. Rework soon. Aatrox, actually, before the State of Valor patch, was one of the highest win rate. I think like second highest win rate Devour junglers for a long time. So I'm interested to see how he works with Bloodrazor now that it's buffed. I agree, he's a little scattered to the winds. But if you're really good and handsome, I heard that he's really good in top lane.
So. Is Riot making any different games? Yes. That said, League is our highest priority. There are a lot of League players out there, and we have to make sure they stay happy.
Yeah. Will Spellvamp ever make a return? Well, we didn't remove all sources of Spellvamp. We're just removing it from the item system. Like, who still has it? Morgana has it. We're happy with it to exist on champion kits. But saying that, like, we should try to make it into an item, I think, for a lot of reasons, just didn't work. Let's see.
A lot of questions this time.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
That's
we
great.
are.
They're scrolling off faster than we can read them.
Yeah, I know they are. Let's see.
Any word on Dominion? Have you seen Definitely Not Dominion?
Yeah. And that's the team who works on the rotating game mode queues. For those of you who don't know, we are releasing a Definitely Not Dominion, which is kind of a Dominion with some tweaks, and you guys will be able to play that soon on a rotating game mode coming near you. So that's what's happening. Man, Follow Them has what looks to be another question. I will try to answer this. So about the future generation, we'll get back to. Scar, is that you? Maybe that's you, Knight. How do you feel about... how do you guys feel about intertwining the sense and motive of positive movement the summoners have, like here, into the Rift? It is this sense of inquisitive on the Rift that is not rewarded enough. I feel like the very thing we are experiencing here is missing on the Rift or in the community, preventing optimal utilization of LoL and the returning gamers. We need more tips or signs. So I feel like I kind of understand what you're getting at here, despite the way that you've laid it out, which is, maybe it seems like you're feeling like we're not rewarding enough experimenting in League, and we're not rewarding asking enough questions. I actually feel opposite. I feel like a lot of my success in playing League of Legends has come from trying to find builds first, trying to find the next thing that people aren't thinking about. And I think patches like preseason and midseason really shake the game up, and that's when people like you who think like you can really shine and say, I'm going to go find these things and find what works. So I don't know. I think we might agree to disagree, but I would agree with you that if ever that was left and gone and it was only optimized League of Legends, I think we would all agree that that's a more boring game.
What is a common mistake junior designers make? A really common one is not knowing when to iterate on something versus giving up. You will commonly see junior designers cling to an idea well beyond the point at which everyone else is convinced it won't work. You will also see them like fold up and die as soon as you give them negative feedback. So it takes a little bit of experience in this job to kind of know for like, okay, this idea I have isn't working yet, but it is workable versus, no, I need to try something else.
Yeah. Also, my thing on that is just not asking enough questions or asking for help fast enough. People think like, oh, I'm on a design team now. They think I'm going to be the best person ever at what I do and never ever make mistakes. And then you find that will get you into more trouble than not, right? It's like Yeah, a lot of people are on design is a constant ladder of like learning things in game design and iterating and making big mistakes, right?
In terms of champion design, it's often easy to get yourself in the mindset of like, I have to make this champion awesome, and kind of neglecting the play against situation. And sometimes junior designers will make champions that are fun to play and super frustrating to play against.
I gotta say, if Ghostcrawler is trying to kill League of Legends, he's doing a terrible job of it.
Was that a question?
No,
That's
like
not
someone. Yeah. Someone said, "Why are you trying to kill this game as well?"
I don't think I could kill League of Legends if I wanted to.
Are you Nian's father? We don't have the DNA back yet. It's inconclusive. Lord knows if I am Nian Tatsu's father. No, I'm only like 2 years older than him. That's rude. Why does Echo keep on getting nerfed? Because he's still powerful. He's still way too powerful. So there you go.
What do you think of including voice comms into the game? I think for a long time we were so scared of player behavior problems with voice that we shied away from it. But, the truth is this is a team-based game, and typing, hey, look out, you're about to get ganked, is just not sufficient. We'd really like to explore voice more, particularly with pre-mades, particularly when playing with people you know.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to go through. I'm trying to teleport.
It's the speed round.
Yeah, we're so high up.
We may need a new solution for how we get questions.
Monsoon Jana just says Ilawi. That's not a question.
Yes, but a fact.
It is a fact. Let's see. How about that Kindred boost with the Blood Razor? How about we nerf it? Yeah, we have Kindred nerfs planned. We know. Character is insane. We have a QSS question here, but we already talked about that. We're seeing where we were talking about Aatrox and Callista.
Ever dabbled on a champion focused around dancing? I can't think of one.
So this is Zyrene asks a question. I'm a member of the Church of Smite Kog'Maw 80 Carry, which is a thing he talked about on our podcast, and seems to be kind of true. You can at least do it. Even if this doesn't become a huge problem, will we still try to keep Smites out of lane like before?
I think so.
Why do you think so?
I mean, I think what we're doing with Smite is saying, hey, I want a jungle, right? And so we've even discussed options for maybe if you pick position jungle, you get Smite, and those go together rather than kind of trying to signify your intent to jungle by picking Smite. I mean, all those like Smite toys.
Yeah, because it's lame to not have Smite,
jungles. Yeah,
right? And you're trying to jungle because that's just not a good experience for
almost
anyone.
Impossible. Yeah.
This is one I don't know. I don't take issue with that statement. But I think the last time we saw it as a big thing, well, I guess the last time it was Runeglaive mid lane, but then we had top lane with Cinderhulk. I think it was because Smite was offering far too much utility for its role. I think if Smite was just because Kog'Maw can get Blood Razor, like Smite's actually a pretty short range, so he's not really like smiting someone in the thing. I think it's like if Smite. Because back in the day, for top laners, when it was Teleport Smite, it was like, hey, Smite is basically your offensive and your defensive summoner spell at the same time. Yeah. Right?
He also says if this doesn't become a huge problem, which I misread, if it doesn't become a huge problem, then I don't think we care. If it becomes a huge
that's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay.
Smite in lanes
Zyrene, misread.
Yeah, it's fine if it's not a huge problem. Scarzard, if I write a mail here, do you get it? If you write a comment, I don't know what a mail is within the context of Twitch, but if you send me a tweet, and I can probably get back to you. David Bowie, I am sorry that you can't stand the hate in the game. Is there something that could change? How do you feel about player behavior efforts right now? Because it seems to be what this man is signaling here.
Player behavior is kind of a frustrating thing to work on because even when we see, incidents of abusive behavior, hate speech, or trolling go down, player perception doesn't move. So, and that's the thing we care about. The thing we want is for players to feel like they're in games with people and having a good time, even if they're losing, even if they're on the opposite team. I will say a lot of the stuff we're looking at now are how to reward good behavior and not just try to slap your wrist if you use naughty words and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Will Ignite Flash top lane come back man, my teams have been rolled over recently by Flash Ignite top lanes. I think it just depends what kind of champion. I don't know if we'll see it come back in pro play, at least with teleport in the current form, just because it provides such a powerful utility to like map wide strategy that I think pros over index on. But in your solo game, it is more often than not correct to be taking Ignite on certain champions. And I think a lot more people are just going teleport just because they see pros do it.
It's all about teleport. Is it possible to ever see Doom bots for rotating Q? I'd say it's possible. I'd say it's on the table. We're not announcing that, but I don't think we'd have a problem with it.
Yeah, I think almost everything that you've seen on the rotation is open to be put into the queue. On the Mage update by Moobeat, did Vel'Koz have a larger set of changes at some point in development? His seemed much smaller scope than the other big six. We were talking with Kevin Huang, Beluga Whale, last week about Vel'Koz specifically, and yeah, he did. Vel'Koz had definitely some larger changes, but we found that kind of the MVP, the minimum viable product, as we call it, the thing that we felt we needed to ship was cleaning up some of the rules around his ultimate and allowing that thing to really just like destroy people in the right situations. And so we kind of ended up settling on that one because the character is pretty unique as is, and we didn't want to end up like ruining that by saying like, oh, now he has this whole mini game or whatever, something like that. Let's see. There's so
many questions.
I apologize in advance. I should have said it at the beginning that there's no possible way we can get to all of these.
Well, this is more than I think we've gotten in the past too. So,
yeah.
Any plans on buffing supports or support items in the future? Yes, it's something we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
When to fit that in, hopefully this year.
Yeah, I think that is, we have something over the next couple patches that I think you'll be seeing. It's not like, It's not
like an assassin level update.
Yeah, it's not going to be like Mage
that.
update for supports or something, but
it's like, we feel like there's a lot of little ear flicks that kind of end up to death by 1,000 cuts for support.
I'm interested to know this. Silent Ninja asks, Ghostcrawler, what do you think of Legion?
Oh, the WoW expansion?
Yeah.
It looks awesome. I think they've really doubled down on a lot of features, and as someone who used to be a lot, super involved with class design, it's cool that they are trying to get to the, the essence of what does it mean to be a particular class.
Yeah.
I was sad when the philosophy was let's not make a lot of class changes, and it's kind of exciting as a player for me to see, see a lot of stuff out. So, I wish them the best. I can't wait to see what the player response is.
Yeah, mark my words, I'm calling it now. Varian's gonna die. Their trailer, it sounded
implies that he's
it
gonna
sounded
die.
like he was. I don't know. I think they're going for broke on this one. I think they're really gonna try and switch stuff up.
I don't know. Do you really want Anduin leading the alliance?
I don't want him leading the alliance.
Maybe
but
he'll
I
die
think,
too.
Who knows? Maybe someone else could take over. You could have a dwarf leader, I'm sure, or something. Tyrande, whoever the night elf person is. I don't play alliance. It's a mistake.
It is.
What happened to Jarvan the Fourth? He was top tier or next to top tier since season 1. Then I don't know where he vanished. Did Urgot kidnap him again? No, Jarvan's just one of those characters who's very reliable. He kind of does one thing, and then we've had a big struggle balancing him because when he's on top, and then when he leaves, when he's even like just next in line, he drops off significantly. I think personally speaking here, that character is not really a jungler. I think people are used to him being a jungler because items and systems kind of allowed him to be. I think maybe like sometime last year, Jarvan was the only champion where his most played role was his lowest win rate role, which is like a weird thing. Like, let that sink in for a little bit. And I think that's something where it's like, we can force him into being really good in the jungle, but I think the champion is like just much better as a solo laner right now. That's not saying where he should be. That's just saying what is. So I think a lot of people play him jungle, don't have a ton of success, then are like, well, that's the only way I can do it. And then people like Gamsu build full AD and just bot people top lane. So, I don't know.
What do you think about soundproof boosts for competitive? This is not the official Rito answer. I'm not speaking for the esports team or anything. As a fan, it would make me sad. Like, I like the fact that I'm going to a live event watching these guys compete. It's already a video game, right? We're like watching on the screen. If they were in a soundproof booth, that doesn't seem to me to be very different than, oh, they're in the next room. And at some point, why is this a live event at all? We should just all be watching it, online and not even have an audience. So I understand the concerns. It's also something that, a lot of professional sports teams deal with all the time. If you've ever seen a Seahawks game.
Yeah, this is something I think, as someone who does know a lot of the people who are working on that exact thing pretty well, This is like a top priority for esports, not the booths in particular, but solving this problem. I think they see soundproof booths as one potential solution rather than the best solution. I think
recognize the problem, but maybe there's other solutions.
Right,
Yeah.
but I think if absolutely nothing else will work, then I don't think they would be like, no, we have to hold on to this thing.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. Scrolling on down. Will there be an ultimate skin this year? I think there will be. I think there's one every year. But I don't know.
I know, and you're gonna love it.
Okay. Well, then yes, there will be an ultimate skin this year. Who knows when?
I almost said you're gonna love him or her, so I'm glad I did.
Yeah.